Your baby has feelings, real ones, not the soft, vague kind we talk about when we say babies sense things. Actual emotional experiences registered in the brain, felt in the body, stored in the nervous system in ways that shape who they become. And the hard part? Most of the things that hurt those feelings aren't done by bad parents. They're done by good ones, by you, by me, by every exhausted, loving, well-meaning parent who had no idea that something so small, so ordinary, so Tuesday morning could land the way it does inside a baby who cannot yet tell you what they felt. Dr. Alan Shore at UCLA has spent decades studying what he calls right brain to right brain communication, the invisible emotional channel that runs constantly between a caregiver and a child. What he found is that a baby's emotional world is not simpler than ours. In many ways, it is more raw, more immediate, more without filter. They feel everything, they just can't tell you. So today, we are going to talk about 10 things that happen in ordinary homes every single day, things that register as emotional pain in your baby's nervous system. Not to make you feel like you've been failing, but because once you see it, you can't unsee it, and that changes everything. Number 1, rushing through their signals. You're in a hurry. The diaper needs changing, the bottle needs warming, there's somewhere to be, and your baby is making sounds, little pre-cry sounds, a shift in expression, a reach in your direction, and you move quickly, efficiently, because you love them and you are trying to get to them. But here's what happens in those 15 seconds before you respond. Your baby sent a message, and the universe went silent. Dr. Mary Ainsworth's research on attachment introduced the world to what she called sensitivity, a caregiver's ability to notice, correctly read, and respond promptly to a baby's signals. What her decades of research showed is that it is not the response itself that matters most. It is the noticing, the moment a baby learns that their signal was seen. When that noticing is consistently delayed, consistently rushed past, the baby doesn't learn, help is coming. They learn, my voice doesn't move the world. You are not failing when you're in a hurry, but slowing down by even 10 seconds to make eye contact before you act, that small thing is enormous to them. Number 2, talking about them like they aren't there. This happens so naturally it almost doesn't feel like anything. You're on the phone or talking to your partner or chatting with a friend, and your baby is right there in your arms, and you say, "He's been so fussy today," or "She didn't sleep at all," or "He's going through something, I don't know." Factual, loving even, but said about them, not to them. Researchers at the University of Iowa studying early language development found that babies begin processing the emotional content of speech, the tone, the intent, the social meaning, long before they understand words. They are not passive recipients of sound. They are active listeners who know when a conversation includes them and when it doesn't. When you talk about your baby in the third person while holding them, something registers, a kind of social invisibility. They are present but not addressed, there but not seen. Start narrating to them instead of about them and watch how their face changes. It will. Number 3, dismissing their reactions as just a phase. Your baby startles at a loud sound and cries hard. Your instinct, and it's a loving instinct, is to minimize it. "It's okay, it was just a noise. You're fine," said with warmth, said to soothe. But here's what a baby hears in that moment, before words mean anything. Your nervous system is calm when mine is not. My reality is being contradicted. Dr. Dan Siegel, clinical professor of psychiatry at UCLA, writes about the concept of felt sense, the idea that children need their internal experience to be mirrored back to them accurately before they can regulate it. When we rush to "you're fine" before we first said "that was scary, wasn't it?" we skip the mirroring step. And without that mirror, the emotion doesn't resolve, it just goes underground. You don't have to agree that the loud noise was dangerous, you just have to agree that it felt that way to them. That agreement is the beginning of all emotional intelligence. Number 4. Forcing social interaction. Someone new comes over, a relative, a friend, a neighbor with kind eyes and open arms, and there's pressure. Gentle, well-meaning, completely understandable pressure for your baby to smile, to go to them, to perform the social moment everyone is hoping for. And when the baby turns away or cries or buries their face in your shoulder, there's a chorus of, "Oh, she's shy," or "Come on, just one smile." The research on infant social referencing, how babies look to caregivers to understand whether something is safe, shows clearly that a baby who is resisting social contact is not being difficult. They are doing exactly what their nervous system is designed to do, risk assessing an unfamiliar social situation using the only tool they have, which is you. When we override that instinct, when we hand them over anyway, when we push the smile, we teach them something that will take years to unlearn, that their body's signals don't matter, that social performance comes before personal safety. Your baby's no deserves to be the first no you ever honor. Number 5. Inconsistent emotional availability. Some moments you are fully there, laughing, responsive, completely present, and other moments, not because you're a bad parent, but because you're a human being, you are somewhere else entirely, worried, distracted, scrolling, exhausted, and your baby gets both versions of you, sometimes within the same hour. Research published in the journal Development and Psychopathology found that it isn't the absence of connection that is most disorienting, it's the unpredictability of it. A parent who is consistently somewhat available is less confusing to a baby's developing nervous system than a parent who is sometimes completely present and sometimes completely gone. Because the baby who gets both learns to spend enormous energy trying to predict which version of you is arriving. You don't need to be present every moment, you need to be readable. Let them know, even non-verbally, when you're not available. That predictability is a form of love. If you've made it this far and something in you has gone quiet, that feeling is not guilt, that's attunement. That's the exact quality that makes you a good parent. This is the kind of content I make every week, the science of what's actually happening inside your baby's emotional world, explained in ways that change how you show up tomorrow. Subscribe now, because the next video goes even deeper into how your baby reads your emotional state before you even know you're having it. You will not want to miss it. Now, back to our list. Number 6. Using a sharp tone accidentally. You didn't mean it. You were stressed about something that had nothing to do with them, and your voice came out harder than you intended. A clipped "not now," or a short, tight "I said no," or even just your name for them said in a tone that came from somewhere else entirely. And you moved on in seconds, but your baby didn't. Neuroscientist Megan Gunner at the University of Minnesota has studied cortisol, the stress hormone, in infants extensively. Her research shows that even brief exposures to harsh vocal tone spike cortisol levels in babies in measurable ways. And crucially, the cortisol response outlasts the event itself. The moment passes for you. The body holds it longer for them. This is not about never raising your voice. It is about knowing that your baby is doing something remarkable every time you speak. They are using the sound of your voice to decide how safe the world is. Your tone is their weather forecast. Number 7. Not repairing after a hard moment. Something happened. Maybe you lost your patience. Maybe you put them down too quickly. Maybe the tone was sharp or the interaction was cut short, and then life moved on, the way it always does, because there are 1,000 other things. The moment passed unremarked, no repair. The research on attachment repair, led extensively by Dr. Edward Tronick, the same researcher behind the still face experiments, shows that repair is not just a nice thing to do after a rupture, it is one of the primary mechanisms by which secure attachment is built. Tronick found that even well-attuned parent-infant pairs are misattuned more than 30% of the time. The difference between secure and insecure attachment is not the misattunement, it is what happens after. When you go back, even minutes later, even wordlessly, with a soft look and a gentle touch, your baby's nervous system registers the relationship survived that. And that survival, repeated over time, becomes the deepest form of trust. Number 8. Ignoring bids for play. They drop the toy, they look at you, they make a sound, they do it again. They are inviting you into their world using every social tool available to them, and you are finishing a sentence, checking something, doing the completely reasonable thing that adults have to do, and the bid goes unanswered. The Harvard Center on the Developing Child identifies what they call serve and return interactions as the single most important exchange in early development. Not educational toys, not sensory classes. This, the back and forth of a baby reaching out and a caregiver reaching back. When a bid for connection is missed repeatedly, the neural pathways that were ready to form around connection simply don't. The brain moves on. The window narrows. You don't have to respond to every single bid, but noticing the bid, even just a glance and a smile before you finish what you're doing, tells your baby something irreplaceable. Your reach moves me. Number 9. Over-promising with your face. You walk in excited, your voice is high and bright, and you are thrilled to see them, and you lean in with this enormous, wide-open expression. And for some babies, especially sensitive ones, that intensity lands not as joy, but as overwhelm. They look away, they go stiff, and you feel confused, maybe a little rejected. Dr. Beatrice Beeb's microanalysis research at Columbia University showed through frame-by-frame video analysis of mother-infant interactions that babies actually regulate the emotional intensity of their caregivers through gaze. They look away not because they don't love you, but because they are managing the volume of the interaction. Too much positive stimulation is still too much. Your enthusiasm is not the problem. The calibration is. Match their pace before you invite them up to yours. Let them set the opening tempo, then meet them there and slowly, gently turn it up together. Number 10. Holding your own pain where they can feel it but can't reach it. This one is the last because it is the hardest to say. You are going through something. Grief or anxiety, or a kind of low-grade sadness that you haven't named yet. And you are doing everything right. You are feeding and holding and showing up. But something in you is somewhere else. Not absent, just unreachable. Research on maternal depression by Dr. Tiffany Field at the University of Miami's Touch Research Institute found that babies of mothers experiencing depression showed altered brainwave patterns, specifically reduced left frontal lobe activity, the region associated with positive emotion, even in interactions with other adults. The emotional atmosphere you carry reaches your baby not just through what you do, through what you are. This is not blame. This is the most important invitation in this entire video. Your baby does not need your perfection, but they need your aliveness. And the most profound thing you can do for them is to get support for yourself, to let someone help you carry what you're carrying, because a parent who is being tended to tends differently, and your baby feels that too. So here we are at the end of this list, and if something in you feels a little tender right now, a little seen, I want you to stay with that feeling for just a moment, because it matters. That tenderness is not shame, it's the part of you that is paying attention. And a parent who pays attention is already doing the most important thing. The research is clear on this. Winnicott called it the good enough parent, not the perfect parent, the one who misses and then notices the miss, who ruptures and repairs, who doesn't always get it right but keeps coming back to try. The moments of disconnection are not what shape your baby. The return is what shapes them. The "I'm here now, I see you." That is the whole architecture of secure attachment, built not out of perfect days, but out of ordinary moments of trying. If this video gave you one new thing, one moment of recognition, one shift in how you'll show up tomorrow, share it with another parent who needs to hear it, not because this channel needs the views, but because somewhere right now there is a parent doing their best with no map, and this might be the thing that changes their Tuesday morning. Your baby doesn't need a different parent. They need you, present, imperfect, and coming back. I'll see you in the next one.